The rain never truly stopped on Alaris. 9. A frontier colony wrapped in endless fog and bioluminescent swamps. To most off-worlders, it was a miserable, forgotten outpost. But to Dr. Aaron Vance, it was home, the place he'd chosen to start over after Earth's wars had burned too much of his soul. He lived alone at the edge of the settlement, in a dome built from salvaged ship hulls and local resin. His days were spent repairing broken drones and treating sick colonists, both human and alien alike. He didn't expect company anymore. He didn't want it. So when a weak knock echoed at his door one stormy night, it startled him. He opened the hatch to find an alien woman standing there, soaked, trembling, her pale lavender skin glimmering under the lightning. Her species was unmistakable Varellan. Tall, graceful, and known across the sectors for their once glorious civilization and their slow extinction. "Please," she whispered, voice fragile as glass. "They said humans help." Aaron stepped aside without hesitation. "Come in." She hesitated, glancing back into the storm, then limped inside. Her robes were torn, her hands clutching a small satchel. He gestured to a chair. "You're hurt." She nodded silently. He examined the wound, a deep infection creeping up her thigh. "You're lucky you made it here," he murmured. "This will need cleaning and antibiotics." Her eyes widened when he pressed a cloth to it. "No pain-dulling field?" He shook his head. "No time. Just breathe." She did, clutching the edge of the chair as he worked. To her credit, she didn't scream. When it was done, she whispered, "I'm called Saren." "Dr. Vance," he said. "Aaron, if you prefer." She nodded faintly. "Thank you, Aaron." Only later did she tell him why she'd come. Her kind had been slowly dying for generations, infertility spreading like a curse after the collapse of their homeworld's biosphere. Most Varellans left were sterile. Entire colonies had vanished into despair. "I was one of the last tested," she said, staring into the flickering firelight. "The medics called it Barren core syndrome. No life can grow inside us anymore. We fade one by one." Aaron listened quietly. He didn't offer false hope, but he couldn't ignore the quiet grief in her voice either. "Then you'll stay here until you're healed," he said simply. "The rain doesn't ask why it falls. Neither do I." For the first time in years, she smiled. 2 days passed. Saren helped him repair the water purifiers and fed the local glowbirds that nested under the dome. She seemed stronger, calmer. Sometimes he caught her staring at him, not with curiosity, but with something else. Recognition, maybe. On the third morning, Aaron heard more knocks at the door. When he opened it, 3 more Varellan women stood there, thin, cold, and desperate. One carried a child whose eyes glowed faintly silver. Saren's voice trembled behind him. "You followed me." The eldest of the newcomers bowed deeply. "You helped one of us," she said. "So we came. There are more, hiding in the hills. We heard a human healer lives here. One who does not fear us." Aaron blinked, overwhelmed. "You realize I'm just one man?" "I can't." The child coughed weakly, and his heart broke. He sighed. "All right. Come in. One at a time." Saren touched his arm softly. "You should have said no." "I stopped saying no a long time ago," he replied. Within hours, his quiet home turned into a shelter. He scrounged up blankets, ration bars, and the last of his medical supplies. The Varellans watched him work with something like reverence. They were different from humans, bioluminescent veins, eyes that shimmered under certain light, skin that pulsed faintly with color when they felt strong emotion. But beneath it all, they were simply people, tired, frightened, and yearning to live. Aaron spent the night stitching wounds and sterilizing tools. Saren helped him, moving with renewed purpose. When the storm eased, he asked, "How many of you are left?" "Not many," said the eldest woman, Mira. "Most gave up long ago. But some of us still believe there is a reason we survived." Aaron frowned. "Reason?" Saren met his eyes. "We heard that human science once rebuilt whole species, that you revived oceans, healed genes. We thought maybe—" Her voice trailed off. He understood. "You want me to find a cure for your infertility?" "Yes," she whispered. "Even if it takes generations. Even if it's impossible." He leaned back, staring into the low fire. "I'm not a geneticist anymore. That part of my life ended with Earth's wars." "Then let it begin again here," Saren said softly. Days turned into weeks. The small dome became a refuge for Varellans from every corner of the swamp. Aaron converted his old storage room into a makeshift lab. With Saren's help, he extracted and analyzed genetic samples, comparing them with archived data from human cryolibraries. The work was grueling, often hopeless. Most samples showed irreversible decay in reproductive sequences, like an entire biological pathway had been switched off. One night, as thunder rolled across the horizon, Saren found him slumped over his console. "You haven't slept," she said. "Sleep doesn't fix broken code," he muttered. She placed a hand on his shoulder. "You can't save a dying species alone." "Maybe not," he said, "but I can try." Weeks later, he made a discovery: tiny fragments of dormant DNA in the Varellan genome that responded to specific electromagnetic pulses, a leftover from their world's biosphere collapse. If reactivated carefully, they might restore reproductive function, if they survived the process. He ran simulations. Most failed, but one sequence held. He showed Saren the results. "If this works, it could save your people. But it's risky, deadly even." She looked at the display, then at him. "You always risked your life for others. Why not for hope?" He stared at her for a long time, then nodded. "All right." The procedure took 12 hours. Saren volunteered first, refusing to let anyone else face the unknown before her. Aaron guided the bioreactor manually, sweating as alarms blared. When it ended, Saren collapsed. For a moment, he thought she was gone, until her chest rose again. Her bioluminescent veins glowed brighter than ever before, their rhythm steady and strong. "Did it work?" she asked weakly. "I think so," he said. "We'll know soon." A week later, medical scans confirmed it. Her dormant reproductive systems had reactivated. Saren wept openly. The others followed, embracing her like a sister returned from death. Aaron stood aside, watching quietly as their faint bioluminescent glow filled the dome like starlight. Months passed. Saren's health flourished. The once silent dome became alive with laughter, color, and music, the first in decades for the Varellans. Word spread quickly. More arrived every week, seeking treatment. Aaron worked tirelessly, upgrading his lab, writing reports to the Confederacy under encrypted codes. When the officials finally came, they expected a ruined outpost. What they found was a thriving community. One officer looked around in disbelief. "You did this alone?" Aaron shook his head. "No. They did this. I just reminded them how to hope." Years later, the first Varellan child born on Alaris, 9 toddled across the dome floor, glowing faintly in the firelight. Saren knelt beside her, laughing through tears. Aaron watched from the doorway, arms folded, a rare smile on his face. When she looked up, she whispered, "You gave us back the future."